Prout's concept of agriculture sector and the challenge of full employment today. प्रौत भारत के प्रकृति प्रदत्त जनगोष्ठी यानी जो हमारा सोशियो इकोनॉमिक यूनिट्स हैं, तो इस व्यवस्था के आधार बनाकर क्षेत्रीय अभिव्यक्ति और राष्ट्रीय दृष्टिकोण की भावना को ध्यान में रखते हुए आत्मनिर्भर भारत का निर्माण करने का हिमायती है प्रौत। उसका मानना है कि प्रकृति ने भारत के संपूर्ण भूभाग पर अकूत संसाधन बिखेर दिए हैं, जिसे अगर सही तरीके से व्यवस्थित किया जाए, वेल प्लान्ड तरीके से, तो भारत पूर्ण रूप से आत्मनिर्भर तो होगा ही। किसी भी व्यक्ति को रोजगार के लिए अपने जन्मभूमि, अपनी मातृभाषा या अपना परिवार और अपने बंधु बांधव से दूर जाना नहीं पड़ेगा, ऐसा इसका मानना है। पॉपुलेशन कैन बी ए बूम। लोग अक्सर कंप्लेन करते हैं पॉपुलेशन की। पॉपुलेशन कैन बी ए बूम फॉर द कंट्री if all are trained and allowed in a planned way to participate respectfully in wealth creation of our country, and this is possible. तो जैसा हम लोग जानते हैं कि मनुष्य का अस्तित्व जो है त्रिस्तरीय है, अस्थि, भांति और आनंदम। तो आज हम लोग केवल अस्थि की बात करेंगे, अस्तित्व की बात करेंगे, जिसके लिए मनुष्य को जो बेसिक रिक्वायरमेंट्स हैं, like dwelling place, food, clothing, education, medical facilities are the very necessities of life, और इसके लिए रोजगार की आवश्यकता है। उसमें दूसरा टर्म आता है कृषि। प्रौत विशेष करके यदि कृषि की बात करता है तो वो इंटीग्रेटेड फार्मिंग की बात करता है। सेल्फ रिलायंस इज द मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ आवर फार्मिंग प्रोजेक्ट्स, हेंस दे शुड बी ओरिएंटेड टुवर्ड्स प्रोडक्शन. They should not be dependent on outside resources. An integrated approach to farming should include such as areas as agriculture, horticulture, floriculture, sericulture, apiculture, dairy farming, animal husbandry, irrigation, because irrigation is the backbone of the agriculture, and pisciculture, pest control, the proper use of fertilizer. Cottage industries are also the part of this part of agriculture, and energy production, because without energy you cannot move today, and research centers for the developed agriculture are very much foundation for the agriculture. Water conservation. So this approach will help make farming projects self-reliant and should be adopted. So ये जो है हमारी एक कृषि की जो इंटीग्रेटेड फार्मिंग की जो अवधारणा है, इंटीग्रेटेड एग्रीकल्चर की, वो ये है, और विशेष इसके बारे में डिटेल में हम लोग बात करेंगे इन दोनों पहलुओं पर. So may I request my Surinder Dada to start with, because you have a background of agriculture and I hope you will be the right person to start with. Thank you, Dada.
So, Namaskar, Dada. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk about agriculture. I will try to say certain things which need to be taken quite seriously, in the sense that, see, the population, they say total employment, 60% of the employment in India, they say, is in agriculture. So, how much of the population is dependent upon agriculture? Is it 60 or let us say 70 or 80% of the people in the country are dependent upon agriculture? And this is one statistic. So if we can make a difference in through Prout in the agriculture sector, and I'll again define. I'll go to the point of definition of how do we define as agriculture sector, and if we can make a difference in the life of these 60 to 80% of the population, I think we'll be doing a great achieving our goal of Prout. In fact, that is the importance of the the topic that we are discussing today. Then latest data given by the government of India in 22-23 is that the contribution of GDP of this 60% of the workforce employment, the agriculture employed people. See, they are giving you a GDP of 15%. For some time, we have been talking about 18% GDP, 18%. But now, of course, it has been declining over a period because there is a global trend towards the share of the contribution of agriculture becoming lesser compared to services and goods because of rapid industrialization, all this going on. In fact, in 1990, the share of GDP in India from agriculture was 35%. From 35% in 1991 to what you call in 22-23, it has come to 15% as declared by the government of India recently. So this is the situation in which we are. And how do you expect now the remaining what you call 40% of the population is contributing 85% of the GDP, and definitely they would definitely have the cake in the economy. Now the incomes are very low, investments are very low, and accordingly, there will be again, because the investments are very low, the output will be very low, and incomes will be again low. And at the same time, this is a circle of poverty, what you call cycle of poverty or circle of poverty. See, that is been trapped in the rural sector, rural agriculture, people living in agriculture sector. Whatever might be the what you call way of putting things, statistically saying that we are a very big economy and all that, third largest economy, all this, that doesn't have any wash, that doesn't have any relevance for this people population which is living in the agriculture, depending on agriculture. That is the tragedy of our country. Then we come to the, I think this statistics itself shows us how serious the matter is with regard to, and how important gravity. See how much of the population, many percentage of the population that is suffering on account of this maladministration or this economy which is mismanaged economy or whatever. So we are having on our hands, we have a very big tragedy or a agrarian sector, they call it agrarian crisis, agrarian. So now what we'll come to, this is as far as the background of the agriculture is concerned, as it is. 80% of the holdings are very small. The holding, what we call agriculture holdings, are small. That means they're uneconomical holdings. Uneconomical agriculture holdings is very important concept of, okay. 80% of the small, they're very small holdings, uneconomical holdings they're having. So 20% are only maybe viable or economical holdings. So this is the situation we are in as on today. Okay, let us not again, if I go into comparison with other countries, where like China, China is having less resources compared to us. Like they get less sunshine, they've got less agricultural resources, but still, they are able to produce 3 times what India produces when it comes to per hectare production. Okay, these are all again, that will take a lot of time to understand that mechanisms. So let us only focus on what Prout looks at, how Prout looks at this situation. See, basic thing is that Prout defines agriculture sector in a different way. That is, it says that the agrico sector, that is agrico sector is that which goes inputs for the production. Agrico is the inputs. What are the inputs? Of course, seed is there, fertilizer is there, land is there, labor is there. At the same time, there is insurance. There is also a credit, insurance, seeds, fertilizers. Of course, we have natural, what you call cyclical advantage of so many seasons and all that. Every area has got its a unique this thing. So these are the things, the inputs, what we call input. So agrico industries are normally not considered as part of agriculture sector. But Prout says that agriculture sector, it is part of the agriculture sector. It has to be in the hands of the farmers. Agrico sector must be in the hands of the farmers. Then we come to another thing, agriculture as it is. Okay, there you have got a lot of uneconomic land holdings. And this agrico sector is now, right now, is not in the hands of the farmers or the people living in the rural areas or agriculture sector. So problem is that all these things, sectors or agricos, the industry enterprises relating to agrico sector. Okay, I will come to that point later. But the third thing is the agro processing sector. Agro processing is concerned, agro processing and then marketing. All those things are there. These are also not in the hands of the farmers. So many people we only either in isolation. We talk to about the farmers' problem of agriculture or problem of the farmers in isolation. But the Prout looks at it not from the in a isolated way, but it looks at it as a agriculture sector. In the agriculture sector, we believe that agrico sector, agriculture and agro industries have to be part of the agriculture sector, and they should be having a commanding position. That is, who are the commanding position? The farmer, the stakeholders are the farmers. You have control. For example, the input cost rise while your output cost will not rise to the same level. For example, input cost will rise. Okay, now I am coming to the another point is that agriculture sector is in the hands of the corporates. The corporates make huge profits. Every one of them, whether it's a fertilizer factory, whether it is a seeds production companies, or let us say the insurance companies, the banks, everybody makes huge profits. Who is connected with the agricultural industries, which are connected to the farmer, they make huge profits. Then we come to the agro industries, agro processing sector. In the agro processing also, that is output, that is we mark goes to the market now. There also all the enterprises make huge profits. And in between, the farmer who is actually working on the field, see, he gets a small slice of the for his efforts or whatever. So now here, every day, 30 farmers commit suicide. So every 1 hour, or it is 1 hour, 1.2 or 1.3, say you can say a farmer commits suicide. Okay, now this suicide is of course a very, what you call a forced thing. But there are many people who die of underemployment, low incomes and all these things. Again, produces malnutrition, poverty, hunger, all those things are there. These are all the things that the agriculture is facing. Are people in agriculture, working in agriculture stage facing. Now, this is as far as the concept of the Prout is concerned. So we have to be very clear about this, that agriculture sector means that so then what do we do with the agriculture sector? Now the agriculture sector, according to Prout, must be the stakeholder, that is agriculture farmers must have the stake in this agrico industries. So in other words, that can be possible only when they are reserved for the cooperatives, farmers cooperatives. It is the farmers cooperatives in each samaj that will produce the required, what we call inputs, agrico inputs, seeds, fertilizers, pesticides and all this. So, and also insurance company, insurance as well as lending, finance and all these things. So this is one part. So this is, in other words, this is not a small, though it is, I may be telling you in a very simple few words, but this is it requires a tremendous amount of effort in society, practically a revolution that only can bring in the agrico industries to be reserved for cooperatives and to be owned by the farmers, cooperatives, large farmers cooperatives. So that is a challenge. Now we come to the agriculture farmers, agriculture sector's structure. See, land holdings are uneconomical. Baba says that there are two things, uneconomical land holding and economical land holdings. We have no issue with the economical land holdings. He says that now what we have to do with the uneconomical land. See, uneconomical land holdings means that that agriculture land or resource is being underutilized. There is no optimum utilization of the resources pertaining to of the uneconomical land holdings. Uneconomical land holdings means that there is low production, low investment, low production, low output or whatever, and low incomes. So first thing that when it comes to, as I told you, first thing is about the agrico industries. I said agrico industries have to be, that is a solution to them, that they have to be part of the stakeholders, that is farmers or farming community. And now as far as agriculture is concerned, as it is, we have to convert the uneconomical land holdings into economical land. How is it possible? You have to bring in what do you call a kind of flooring. Not about first thing is flooring. That is, there should be a unit, and again, of course, it differs from samaj to samaj, climate to climate, see, region to region. Because of there are 3 or 4 factors like technology, the current technology of agriculture, and the second thing is about the fertility of the resources. So, and all these things, we decide based on that. Anyway, what is the economical landholding? The economic landholding is not uniform, not for all the samajas. It might be 10 acres in one samaj, it might be 20 acres in another samaj. See, because the water, no, we have got irrigation water also is one of the important factors. So that decides the economics of the agricultural holdings. So the Baba says that when you convert all the uneconomical land holdings into economic land holding, it is possible through joint farming of the small farmers. Small farmers come together. If there are 4 or 5 members, for example, if we say there are 20 acres, 15 acres is the economic land holding area. So farmers who own, let us say 5 farmers own 15 acres. So those people come together and do the farming in a cooperative way. Nowadays, you got self-help groups type of organizations are there in the villages. Okay, that kind of a step forward we can go. So basically, first of all, we should not allow uneconomical land holdings in the agriculture sector. Because that means that it reflects on the livelihood of the farmers also. After all, it is not the issue not of ownership. It's the usership, how you are getting income out of it. Just having the land is not the issue. The issue is, more important issue is, what kind of income you are getting out of. So the farmers have to be convinced to cooperate and see that from their assets, whatever assets, because we are not going to disturb the title of farmers and all these things, they need not be disturbed. They need not be impinged on that. So it will become a issue of economical and uneconomic land holdings. And we are not going to touch the holdings which are already economic. In the first stage, of course, in the cooperative structure, so that book is there on cooperatives, wherein he has given 3 or 4 stages in which the implementation of cooperatives takes place. It takes place in a staged manner, in a phased manner, not suddenly or like overnight and all. You are doing it with taking the farmers into confidence. All those things are there. So it goes on in a very staged manner. In the first stage, the economic land holdings are not touched. Only uneconomic land holdings are supported, subsidized, educated, or instructed, guided to farm, into cooperate, into economical land holdings. So that is the story with regard to agriculture as it is. Then you come to the agro-processing industries. Now, when the production is done by the farmers and he goes to the market, and the market is like something like of a, of course, there's a lot of samaj, what do you call, the barter, but economic profit, greed and profit, that makes them, what do you call, and also we have a government which has got a FCI, which goes on collecting grains all over India into one place and again distributes it. It's not like that. We would like to have an FCI in each samaj. Every samaj will have its own samaj. It's a local production or local consumption. So basically, the agro-processing industries will also be in the cooperative sector of the farmers. That means the production, what is produced is not sent raw to the market. It is sent, what you call, processed. Now the processing is done by the corporates, and they are getting huge profits. You buy vegetables, they buy vegetables at 3 rupees from the farmer, they sell it at 30 rupees ultimately. So these are all, see, what is happening is that the income, the share of income farmer is being exploited by the corporates. There is a famous case, the apples in Himachal Pradesh. They are bought there by the corporate giant, and they are sold in a huge profit in the market all over India. So this kind of trans samaj marketing and all those things are there. That also will be controlled by us because our policy is local production, local consumption. And because agriculture, food comes under people's economy. So Proud's people's economy demands that we should regulate it. So this is the challenge that is in front of the Proutists. The COVID. So this is, and then so the issue is not about only just farmers. It is about getting the agrico industries and also agro processing industries into the fold of agriculture community, so that their incomes, and here this will help in get even the consumer also getting a fair price and also farmer getting a fair price, and by avoiding the middlemen, the corporate giants, avoiding corporate giants. So this is because this is the concept of Prout with regard to agriculture sector. This I wanted to, in fact, I requested Rajan Dada, because this is one area where some confusion is there. So many of the Margis I come across, they'll be talking, no, we cannot talk in isolation. So this is the challenge that is there with regard to a Prout implementation in the agriculture sector. Now, I'll come to one more. Recently, I came across, I was attending one webinar or whatever it is by from European this thing, by name Govinda. He has conducted one. He was talking about why our Prout ideology is not become so prominent or popular like green parties, that is environmental parties. For example, now one of the things challenging, one of the ideology challenging the capitalist system, especially in the West and advanced countries, are green parties. The green parties are countries which are parties are challenging the corporates on the unsustainable exploitation of the environment. So environment is being toxic, made toxic and all that. So they are saying now green parties are trying to attack the capitalist system from the environmental standpoint. Now, we hear what he was telling, no, the Govinda from Europe. What he was telling was, see, we always say that Prout is a panacea. That is medicine. Prout is a panacea. Okay. He says, if the Prout is a panacea, now, where are the doctors to prescribe it? We don't have doctors to prescribe it. Anything, for example, you have the medicine, fine. But the problem is that where are the doctors? So we are not entering the issue, the relevant issue. Nobody is taking up the relevant issue. We are not becoming part of the relevant issues and then put our point of view across. So that's what he was trying to say. That in every context, Proutists have to do their homework and then do some work. See, ideology is there. But ideology in itself is only a solution, yes. But the solution has to be applied. That means somebody has to apply. That application is always specific, local. Principles are universal, but application is local. So now this is a local application of this thing is required. And this is the challenge that we have in agriculture sector. Now, the second part of the topic is about employment. Now, if we are able to get, if we have the agrico sector under the control of the farm community, and if we have the agro industry sector also in the fold of the agriculture sector, then the employment opportunities will be in the hands of the rural sector. So that means it will not go out. For example, even the everything, everything will be processed and then only leave the rural area. It will not be taken to some big center in some urban area, and then from there they go to supermarket, and from there to Bombay and Bangalore and all that. No. So there has to be localization. So this will produce a lot of opportunities for employment. Yes, employment. Now the gainful employment is possible. We have to see, and if a rural area, if the education and training is not there, we have to give them education and training and employees. So in this is the challenge we have with regard to, and this will automatically will be able to solve the problem of employment. So I think I think I will rest my case.
If you want to take an example, we can take an example of Israel, hardly 1 crore population and very small land. Even if you compare with the Jharkhand, they are 1/4 of the Jharkhand. I mean, but still they are the exporter of agriculture. So of course, you rightly said that economic holding is very important. Economic holding is decided by the technology, fertility of the land and irrigation facilities and all. I mean, farming is required. Of course, farming development is required, where the irrigation is the backbone of the farming. So we know that we are totally, most of the places we are totally dependent on the nature for irrigation. And we a lot things we have to do if we compare with many other agriculture dominant countries. We should look at ourselves. Second important point, we told that how to make in first phase, we will not touch the economic holding, rather we will touch the uneconomic holdings of a small farmers. That's a very good thing. And on a cooperative, like you say, self-help group kind of thing, they can start working. That is one suggestion, so that their production is optimum and they can compare with other economic holdings. Two more important points what you told is, which is today in corporate hands, that is you produce, and this implies this, according हमको ऐसा लगता है आपकी बात से कि this is the major factor by which the farmers, especially today, almost 60% or more than 60% population is dependent totally on agriculture. Prout planning that 30 to 40% population should not beyond 40% should be dependent. And in addition to that, 20% agrico and 20% what you call agro industries. And these two industries, 40% population जहाँ लोकल होना चाहिए था, तो 40% population का जो benefit है, that corporate is entered there in agrico and agro industries, and they are making hell lot of money. They are taking at a very cheaper rate from the farmers, and they are making a lot of money. So this can be checked, and those industries should be not in cities but at the local block level, district level, and samaj inside the samaj. Then obviously people will have employment there, and people will not run towards the city. I want to conclude here in one line that at least no corporate should be allowed for agro industries and agrico industries, rather the government, because the government support is very much required, at least in the beginning. The government should support the that very state today, you can say, or the samajas, to develop based on their raw materials all processing units there itself, maybe at the district level or maybe at the samaj level, so that local people get employment there. So these problems is also quite positive thing. And there will be no middleman then. That is also a good benefit, because middleman taking the advantage of undue advantage, and they are becoming fatter, and the entire गाज जिसको बोलते हैं वो farmers के ऊपर ही गिरती है. At the same time, मेरे मन में एक और बात आ रही है कि कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन जो एग्रीकल्चर का है वो उसको नहीं मिलता है, एंड दैट इज वाई उसकी कंडीशन ऐसी होती है. सो हियर आई विल एंड माय कमेंट. मे आई आस्क माय हरानंद दादा टू स्पीक ऑन दिस सब्जेक्ट. दादा, विल यू प्लीज?
यस दादा, काफी कुछ इस पर चर्चा हो गई है, और इस विषय में जाने के बजाय मैं दो तीन चीजें कहना चाहूंगा.
जी दादा.
पहली बात कि इस जैसे हम लोग ये कह रहे हैं कि हर एक समाज को अपने ढंग से स्वावलंबी बनना पड़ेगा, जो कि सही बात है, लेकिन इसमें इन तीन चार स्तर पे बहुत मौलिक परिवर्तन की आवश्यकता है. फंडामेंटल चेंजेस इन थिंकिंग. फर्स्ट इज political will to change things. Second is what follows as a sequel, legislative changes. Okay, because आप देख लें कि बहुत से नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज हैं जो हर समाज में, अगर हम समाज के हिसाब से जाएं, उपलब्ध नहीं है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट say lychee industry of North Bihar, Muzaffarpur. Now, India is one of the highest producer of lychees in the world, but we are not the highest exporter. वो अभी की स्थिति बता रहा हूँ। क्यों? क्योंकि हमारे पास फूड प्रिजर्वेशन टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं है मेरे पास। सेम इज द व्हाट दादा वाज रेफरिंग टू एप्पल्स। जहां भी हमारे यहाँ जो है इतना मैसिव फ्रूट्स का वेस्टेज है कि अगर हमारे पास प्रोसेसिंग इंडस्ट्री हो जो एग्रो इंडस्ट्रीज की बात का हिस्सा है, तो हम फिर अपने को और लाभान्वित कर सकें। और ये एरिया ऐसा है जहां टेक्नोलॉजी इतनी महंगी है कि कॉरपोरेट इसलिए घुसे हैं कि उनके पास पैसा है, दे हैव द मनी टू फंड दोस फ्रूट प्रोसेसिंग इंडस्ट्रीज। जहां भी आई हैं, अभी बहुत कम आई हैं इस देश में, बाहर के देश बहुत आगे हैं, तो उसके लिए गवर्नमेंट सपोर्ट की चाहिए। अब देखिए, कोऑपरेटिव आपने चला दिया, अनइकोनॉमिक लैंड होल्डिंग्स को मिला के, समहाउ इफ यू हैव स्टार्टेड making them functional, they will not have that money from farm production के वो फ्रूट इंडस्ट्री बना लें, या जहां जो भी है। जैसे कहीं जूट हो रहा है तो जूट का प्रोसेसिंग, तमाम तरह की चीजें बन सकती हैं। तो ये सारे प्रोडक्ट अगर उसी समाज में बनने हैं, लॉट ऑफ मनी इज रिक्वायर्ड, बजटरी सपोर्ट इज रिक्वायर्ड इनिशियली। क्योंकि आप क्रेडिट से आप कितना उधार दीजिएगा, उधार से आप छोटे किसानों को संभाल सकते हैं, बट आप पूरी की पूरी इंडस्ट्री नहीं खड़ा कर सकते हैं। दूसरी बात, मैं आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट सम प्रैक्टिकल प्रॉब्लम्स। दूसरी बात के जो नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज हैं बहुत सारे, वो इवनली डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड नहीं, वी ऑल नो दैट। Marathwada region does not have the same resource which the Gangetic basin has. तो जैसा कि राजेंद्र ने ठीक ही कहा कि water being a fundamental resource, input resource for agriculture, the availability of water in every samaj is a big issue. तो every समाज has to coordinate with each other कि भाई तुम्हारे पास पानी है, तुम मुझे पानी दो, मैं तुम्हें ये दे सकता हूँ। तीसरी बात मैं कहूंगा, जैसे कि एग्रीको इंडस्ट्रीज पर बहुत फोकस किया रेड्डी दादा ने, बहुत सही किया। अब जैसे एक एग्जांपल ले लें, पेस्टिसाइड। अब पेस्टिसाइड का जो इशू है वो फिर बहुत, क्योंकि पेस्टिसाइड में पेट्रोलियम प्रोडक्ट्स भी लगते हैं, फर्टिलाइजर में भी लगते हैं, सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड और ये तमाम चीजें। तो ये तो अब अंगिका समाज और मगी समाज में कहाँ से आएगा सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड? तो वो फिर एक दूसरे से टाई अप कर, तो ये सारा डोमेन जो है एग्रीको इंडस्ट्रीज का या एग्रो इंडस्ट्रीज का, ये बहुत म्यूचुअल कोऑर्डिनेशन और इंटीग्रेटेड सपोर्ट पे डिपेंड करेगा, विथ लॉट ऑफ फंडिंग रिक्वायर्ड इन ऑल दीज एरियाज। तभी हम सस्टेनेबिलिटी इन एग्रीकल्चर की बात कर पाएंगे। क्योंकि कोई भी चीज, जैसे आज देखिए एफसीआई लेता है, पर द एंटायर कंट्री नोस कि टन्स एंड टन्स ऑफ ग्रेन्स आर वेस्टेड and they get rotten in FCI godowns. कितनी बार सीरियल हम लोगों ने देखे हैं। Why? Because हमारे पास वो है ही नहीं फैसिलिटी टू प्रिजर्व दोज ग्रेन्स, फ्रूट्स, एनीथिंग। तो हम लोगों ने वो एग्रीकल्चर के इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पर, एग्रीकल्चर की टेक्नोलॉजी पर उतना ध्यान नहीं दिया। अभी हम सैटेलाइट और डिजिटल टेक्नोलॉजी से वो तमाम चीजें कर रहे हैं, सॉइल मैपिंग और वो सब मैपिंग कर रहे हैं, लेकिन फंडामेंटल चीजें तो चाहिए, पानी चाहिए। तीसरी चीज के फर्टिलाइजर पेस्टिसाइड के अलावा, जैसे एग्रीको में एक पानी का इनपुट हो गया, सीड्स। अब सीड्स का देखिए, अभी इस देश में सीड रिसर्च इंस्टीट्यूट है कई जगह, अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, वो सीड डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करते हैं, किसानों को एडुकेट भी करते हैं कि इस धान के लिए ये सीड इस्तेमाल करो। तो but overnight we cannot have seed research centers in our centers, in our समाजास, अपने समाज में। तो आपको इनिशियली हमको लगता है कि 15-20 साल बहुत सीरियस इंटरडिपेंडेंस का फिनोमेनन रहेगा, इंटरडिपेंडेंस इन मेनी एरियाज विद अदर समाज। नंबर वन, फॉर बजटरी सपोर्ट फ्रॉम गवर्नमेंट हैज ऑलवेज टेकन अ वेरी, I should say less than normal interest in agriculture. वो बजटरी फंडिंग से ही समझ में आ जाता है कि एग्रीकल्चर और एजुकेशन को कितना प्रायोरिटी दिया है इन द लास्ट 70 years. We all know that. तो जब तक ये पूरा पॉलिटिकल विल और लेजिस्लेटिव चेंज नहीं होगा, और अंतिम बात जो कहा गया कि आप अनइकोनॉमिकल होल्डिंग्स को लेकर फार्मर्स को जुटाएंगे, इसके लिए मैसिव मास अवेयरनेस की जरूरत है और उसके लिए मैसिव पीआर एक्सरसाइजेस चाहिए। आप किसान को, तमिल के किसान को आप अंग्रेजी में ज्ञान नहीं दे सकते हैं। इस देश का डिजिटल टेक्नोलॉजी का अभी थोड़ा सा रीजनल लैंग्वेज में मॉडल्स आ गया है, दैट इज हेल्पिंग फार्मर्स अ लॉट। बट suppose if you want to integrate say 100 uneconomical land holdings in Telangana, you need to set the agenda in Telugu language. You can't go and speak English to farmers who are illiterate. तो ये इसके लिए हमको लोकल लैंग्वेज में ऐसे समझदार लोगों की बहुत जरूरत है। मैं ये बता रहा हूं कि किन किन एरियाज में काम करने की जरूरत है। ये ओवरनाइट कुछ भी नहीं होगा। इवन इफ Proutist philosophy is accepted as a political philosophy or ideology, not philosophy, ideology for changing the whole economic scenario, we need to interact with different agencies, we need to interact with different governments for import of technology, for so many things, for everything। क्योंकि हम लोगों ने अपनी हालत इतनी खराब करके रखी है कि हम लोग अब बगैर दूसरे के सपोर्ट के चल नहीं पाएंगे। और किसानों की स्थिति ऐसी हम लोगों ने कर दी है पिछले 70 साल में, आई मस्ट से दैट, कि अब उनको, अब देखिए ऐसा है ना कि आदमी, दादा ने एक बड़ी अच्छी बात कही कि फार्मर सुसाइड कर रहे हैं, लेकिन उन्होंने एक और इशारा किया कि मैल न्यूट्रिशन और इस तरह के डोमेन्स में कितनी डेथ्स हो रही हैं। तो दैट इज ऑल्सो अ पार्ट ऑफ दिस फेलियर ऑन दिस फ्रंट ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर। क्योंकि आई हैव स्पेंट माय चाइल्डहुड इन मेनी डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स ऑफ झारखंड, आई हैव सीन द लेवल ऑफ पॉवर्टी, हंगर एंड मैल न्यूट्रिशन के सिर्फ महुआ का बीज, वो फल खाते हैं, महुआ के फल का भात खाते हैं, राजेंद्र दादा ने भी देखा होगा, तो खाते हैं, महुआ की शराब पीते हैं, महुआ सेंटर्ड है, और थोड़ा बहुत बीड़ी पत्ता। और मैंने बाद में भी देखा, आई हैव सीन दिस इन चाइल्डहुड डेज एंड इवन माय लास्ट पोस्टिंग वाज एट पटना एंड एंटायर Jharkhand was my area. So I again visited those areas of Latehar, Chandwa, Sadbarwa, Gadwa Road, old now Medinipur district, old Palamu district. But I saw that poverty level is still there and pockets have been made by Naxals capitalizing on this level of poverty. कि हम तुमको एक यूटोपिया दिखला रहे हैं, हम सब कुछ बदल देंगे। वो घुस के जंगल में बैठे हुए हैं। गवर्नमेंट क्या कर रही है? दे आर ट्राइंग टू डू देयर बेस्ट। पर मुझे एक चीज समझ में आज तक नहीं आई, हैविंग वर्कड अगेंस्ट नक्सल्स, के जंगल में लेटेस्ट वेपन्स कहां से आ रहे हैं भाई? हवाई जहाज से तो नहीं आ रहे हैं, रोड से आ रहे हैं। रोड कहीं भी है, हर जगह पुलिस चेकअप है, हर जगह पुलिस इंटेलिजेंस है। तो हाउ वी आर फंक्शनिंग? इज आवर पुलिस सेटअप फंक्शनिंग? हाउ वेपन्स? देखिए, नक्सलियों की पूरी ताकत हथियार के बल पे है। वो हथियार उनके पास कहां से आ रहे हैं? गवर्नमेंट पहले इस पर क्यों नहीं एक्शन लेती है? बट वही प्रॉब्लम है कि शराबबंदी हो गई बिहार में, खुलेआम शराब बिक रही है, महंगे दाम पर बिक रही है। सब लोग जान रहे हैं कि बिहार के हर गांव में कहां से शराब आ रही है और नहीं आ रही है। इट्स अ नोन फैक्ट। गवर्नमेंट में डिनाई कि ये सब, बट दीज आर फैक्ट्स। तो हमारे सिस्टम में इतनी इनएफिशिएंसी है कि जब तक हम लोग इसको चेक नहीं करेंगे, एक प्रॉब्लम जिसकी ओर हमारे एमिनेंट स्पीकर्स ने नहीं इशारा किया, जो मैं फोकस करना चाहूंगा, बीइंग अ पार्ट ऑफ ब्यूरोक्रेसी, द करप्शन इज ऑफ सच ए लेवल। और बाबा ने जो कोऑपरेटिव की बात भी कही, मोरालिटी वन ऑफ द फाउंडेशन स्टोन्स ऑफ रनिंग अ कोऑपरेटिव, moral governance, where are the men? When the entire system has gone down to ducks, neck deep in corruption, तो हम लोग कहां से ढूंढ के लाएंगे रेड्डी दादा और राजेंद्र दादा जैसे कुछ मॉरलिस्ट को? और ये क्या हर समाज में जाके काम करेंगे? संभव नहीं है भाई। Every samaj has to produce its own set of moralists, its own set of thinkers, and we have to customize things. तो दादा ने शुरू में जो रेड्डी दादा ने बात कही, वेबिनार का रेफरेंस देके, कॉन्टेक्चुअलाइजेशन एंड कस्टमाइजेशन, जो इन्होंने बात कही कि हम कॉन्टेक्स्ट से बाहर हैं, ग्रीन पार्टी कॉन्टेक्स्ट में बात कर रही है, दे आर गेटिंग एक्सेप्टेंस, हम लोग सीधे एब्स्ट्रूज लेवल पे चले जा रहे हैं। हम लोग सिर्फ माने अब निर्गुण ब्रह्म सगुण ब्रह्म कर रहे हैं, ठीक है, वो अपनी जगह पे ठीक है, बट पहले रोटी कपड़ा और मकान की बात तो हो। तो हम लोग कॉन्टेक्चुअलाइजेशन से मिस कर गए हैं। दूसरी बात, कस्टमाइजेशन की जरूरत है, जिसकी ओर तब से मैं इशारा कर रहा हूं कि हर समाज को अपने टैलेंट्स को, टैलेंट स्काउटिंग करना पड़ेगा, टैलेंट्स को निकालना पड़ेगा, ग्रूम करना पड़ेगा, एडुकेट करना पड़ेगा, एज रेड्डी दादा राइटली सेड कि वी नीड टू एडुकेट आवरसेल्व्स एंड आवर मेन। ठीक है, 4, 5, 10% गेटिंग एडुकेटेड थ्रू दिस फोरम, इवन 20, 40 इज नॉट एनफ। क्या हमारे समाज के लोग इसमें रिप्रेजेंट हो रहे हैं? नहीं हो रहे हैं। एंड राजेंद्र दादा, आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट यू कि समाज वाले या तो इसको, व्हाई दे कांट ज्वाइन, क्योंकि अगर वो ये समझते हैं कि प्रौत और समाज मूवमेंट अलग अलग है, तो ये तो बहुत बुनियादी तौर पे वो गलतफहमी के शिकार है। क्योंकि समाज मूवमेंट जो है इंप्लीमेंट करेगा किस चीज को, उसका एजेंडा क्या रहेगा, प्रौथ ही रहेगा। तो अनलेस समाज के लोग ये समझें कि प्रौथ क्या है, फ्रॉम लर्नेड स्पीकर्स लाइक रेड्डी दादा, तो समाज वाले को कौन एडुकेट करेगा? आप बताएं रेड्डी दादा, आपके उधर आंध्रा में हम तो नहीं देख रहे हैं कि आपके अलावा कितने लोग हैं जो प्रौथ को समझते हैं। तो कहां से आपके समाज वाले इंप्लीमेंट करेंगे तेलंगाना में या आंध्र प्रदेश में, या फॉर एग्जाम्पल इन झारखंड, राजेंद्र दादा को मैं देख रहा हूं, आप बताएं कि झारखंड में जो भी समाज की संरचना बाबा ने दी है, उसमें है हमारे पास टैलेंट्स हु अंडरस्टैंड प्राउड, हु कैन स्पीक ऑन प्राउड, जो दूसरों को समझा सकता है कि प्राउड क्या है। तो मैं बार बार इस बात को कह रहा हूं, पहले भी उठाया है मैंने, कि वी नेवर टेक लर्निंग एंड ट्रेनिंग सीरियसली। ये प्रॉब्लम गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर का बहुत भारी है कि ट्रेनिंग को लोग लायबिलिटी समझते हैं, कि हमें अगर कुछ सीखना, हम नहीं सीखे, आप क्या कर लीजिएगा। तो आप रेड्डी दादा, राजेंद्र दादा, आप कितना भी पढ़ लीजिएगा, कोई सीखेगा ही नहीं, तो करिएगा आप क्या? ये मेरी व्यक्तिगत मेरी पीड़ा, दिस माई पर्सनल एगनी, दैट द presence that I see on this forum for the last 3 years, it is dismal. It shows the interest of people. And if Samaj people think that they have become Socrates in terms of knowledge, I am sorry, they are not. Let some Samaj person come and speak on Prout. We'll be happy to hear to them. We don't say कि उसमें जानकार लोग नहीं है, पर वो क्यों नहीं इस फोरम पे आके बोल सकते हैं कि उनके समाज में क्या हो रहा है? भाई कोई तो आके बोले। तो खैर, these are my personal, लेकिन आई डोंट नो वेदर आप लोग यू अग्री विद दिस और नॉट, बट जिसको इम्प्लीमेंट करना है वो तो है ही नहीं फिलोसफी को, आइडियोलॉजी को समझने के लिए। भाई आप, सवाल है कि आप कथक नृत्य बता रहे हैं, जिसको कथक नृत्य करना है वो सीखेगा ही नहीं, तो आपका ज्ञान किस काम का है? रंदर दादा, आई वुड लाइक सिंग यू विद हार्ट। एनीवेज, दैट वाज ऑल फ्रॉम मी। सो द जर्नी इज लॉन्ग एंड आर्डुअस, and Baba's concept is absolutely perfect. To customize it and teach our own men, हमारे लोग खड़े तो हों। खैर, anyway, thank you, नमस्कार।
ना, थैंक यू दादा। ये आपने बहुत सही बात बोला, जिसकी जरूरत है वो तो है ही नहीं, हम क्या दीवार को भाषण दे रहे हैं?
तो बात, that is the point।
वेरी फ्रैंकली ये जानना चाहिए, इंटरनल बातें हैं। मैं इंडिविजुअली जो इसके जो नेता लोग हैं, उन सबको मैं इंडिविजुअली इनविटेशन भेजता हूँ। I mean, not even once. This is a very sorry state of affair. I mean, really, I don't know where we are going anyway. We have to
नहीं
find
नहीं,
out the method. क्योंकि
दादा
मैं इस बात में
ऐसा है,
विश्वास करता हूँ कि यदि मेरे भाषण को कोई नहीं सुन रहा है तो I have to correct myself.
नहीं नहीं, वो ठीक है। देखिए, ऐसा है कि मेरे भी कुछ लोगों से बातचीत हुई है
जी
जो
दादा।
स्वनाम धन्य लोग हैं इसमें। तो मैंने देखा है कि पानी में क्या गहराई है नदी में। अब उस पर मैं टिप्पणी और नहीं देना चाहता हूँ।
नहीं दादा, ठीक है।
ठीक।
पर दादा, आई रियली थैंक यू, आपने बहुत सही बोला जो हम लोग इस बात को। देखिए, 70 साल से, मतलब जब से आजाद हो उसके बाद से लिटरली, देखिए, भाषण दर पीठ ठोकने की बात अलग है, अदरवाइज फार्मर्स का मनोबल इतना टूट गया है, इतना टूट गया है कि उनको उठाने के लिए बहुत मेहनत करना पड़ेगा। और उसके लिए जैसा आपने बोला कि पहली बात की पॉलिटिकल विल चाहिए, जो कि एकदम मिसिंग है, क्योंकि इनके बजट से समझ में आ जाता है। आपने राइटली पॉइंटेड अबाउट द काइंड ऑफ बजट दे एलोकेट is absolutely nothing for the I mean this sector, and which sector contains, I mean, according to Prout, almost 70% of the population is, if you count the agrico and agro industries, it will be totally cover those percentages. That's a very big chunk of it. एंड तो बट एक बात और है दादा कि ये जो कुछ जो बातें आपने फूड प्रिजर्वेटिव्स वगैरह की थे, तो इनिशियल तो गवर्नमेंट को सपोर्ट करना ही पड़ेगा टिल यू, जब तक बच्चा बड़ा नहीं हो जाए, अपने पैर पे चलने नहीं लगे, देन यू कैन ऑफ कोर्स टाइट देम, यू हैव टू अर्न योर ओन आई मीन लाइवलीहुड, बट तब तक सपोर्ट तो चाहिए। बट हमारे बीच में दादा विमलानंद दादा दिख रहे हैं, अब उनसे अच्छा तो इस सब्जेक्ट के लिए कौन हो सकता है? मैं आई रिक्वेस्ट विमलानंद, आर यू हियरिंग?
Yes, I can hear you.
दादा
Namaskar.
नमस्कार
Namaskar
दादा।
all. I can
आप
hear. Yes.
थोड़ा इस
Yes.
सब्जेक्ट पे प्लीज दादा कुछ बोलिए।
No, you have covered almost the most part of it, and yes, I also could sense your sentiments that Dada Harananji has touched at the end of his presentation. The topic today is agriculture and whether it has the capability of employing, give 100% employment, and that's very much understood that it does have uh, the the ability to employ. But also, all the statistics are showing how agriculture has been denied its rightful place by our visionaries, national thinkers, and the think tank in the country. They all wanted to convert India into Russia or United States. The fault is right there, the very vision, the very ideology. Instead of India trying to rediscover its own ideology, India, you know, rather decided to follow the example of one or the other. And China are ahead, $12 trillion now economy. India is still now talking about the goal of 5 trillion and is converting entire India into a marketplace. China did not convert the entire country into a marketplace, but still they are $12 trillion economy. But India is very fast transforming itself into a market economy, and the whole country is becoming a marketplace now. It's very pathetic that India still is bankrupt in its own, evaluating its own assets of ideological assets and its own resources. We have 65% young population in the country of 1.4 billion population, and India is still trying to look towards other for guiding us into, and I mean, it's very pathetic. That's the overview, and what I have to say here is that will our Samaj movement or will our movement make a difference? Well, that was the purpose of, Parma Purusha coming onto this earth. That was the very purpose. Why Parma Purusha comes to earth, why Tarak Brahma reincarnates himself, in India, and I mean on this earth, wherever, of course, always in India. But yes, that is the stated purpose. And that India today has to look still towards other countries, even though we are watching that how American economy is becoming, you know, a false premise already. It's becoming that direction. It's very calculated. And still, our leaders, I don't know, our think tank, what they are doing. We are a small group, a small society, a small community, but we are talking tall many times. And as Dada Haranan's comment was, yes, introspection we have not done for a long time. And when Baba was our guardian, the world did not exist beyond Baba. Everything was within Baba. The entire Anand Marga was within Baba. And we were looking at Baba, and Baba was looking at us. There was no world existing outside for us. Baba was our world. But when Baba withdrew physically from before our eyes, then naturally we are on the square, crossroads, and now 34 year passing. I think now is time. Very recently, I was giving my response to one Dada, senior Dada, who asked me, what to do, what do you think about Anand Marga's challenges. And I said, it's not today. For a long time, this has been, sitting in my brain, in my mind, in my thoughts, in my heart, in my sentiments, that unless or until Anand Marga starts addressing the social issues in public, society is not going to accept us. Unless you go to the society and talk sensible thing that makes sense to the people, where people can see that yes, this direction will really make us different, and we will come out of the quagmire. Unless we do that, but we are shy of doing that. The same 20 people in the same seminars, reading the same books for past 60 years. Exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. Exactly the same. And a family which has got fourth generation Margis, how do you expect that their new generation will feel inspired? I mean, are we realistic, or we live in a cocoon of the silkworm? That is our challenge, actually. And open forums was going to or can still be helpful, but we will have to go to public. We will have to address the social issues in public. In public, we should not feel shy of that. Shy. Now, how many of those people of us will like to go in public? Yes, but today or tomorrow, we will have to, make up our mind and, go to the public places, public forums, high schools, colleges, think tank, personnels, people. I'm not asking us ourselves to go to the television. No, television is the last place we should be going. But there are so many very good movements in the society. They are not going anywhere in the media, but they have done really groundwork. Very big groundwork is going on in public, which is not coming in the media at all. In many, parts of rural India, there are local, heroes and ladies and gents both, and they are doing marvelous work in the field of agriculture. They are doing, but they're not known, and we are not interconnected. Nobody is connected to each other. So, and agriculture is the last wanted thing of our fascination of our new generation. And even our governments feel that we have to drag the youth from the rural side into the cities so that we can find cheap labor to construct our high-rise buildings in the cities. Oh my God. If that is the national vision, then our lands will become big farmland like American corporate farming. And the corporate farming is already going on. Lease is being given. No new generation youth is interested in learning the farming technique from the elderly generation. There is exodus of the youth into the cities, and the village, average age of the village is becoming 55, 60 years. This is well planned, Rajendraji, and all of you. This is well planned. This is well planned. What Prout and Anand Marga can do, I will say Anand Marga, not Prout. I mean, Prout is a social vision of Anand Marga. So what Anand Marga can do is that we have to go in public forums. We have to create public forums, fora, and we have to create such topics for the public where they will feel, to listen what we want to say. There was a time, sir, we all know, Dada Haranji knows, that generation, our time youth, when we were young people and youth, wherever we were going, people were knowing that Anand Margis are really, their ideas are the best ideas. And we were becoming popular because of our social, solutions we were giving to the social issues of that time. And so many young people came forward. They sacrificed their careers and they became sannyasis, and they went ahead, and we built up such a big ideological Anand Marg that the tall political figures like Indira Gandhi and everybody was shaken, you see. And Anand Marga was branded as a global terrorist organization out of fear and recommendation from the Indian, polity, you know. I'm not saying that we should be uh, going that, raw. No, Baba was in jail. Baba was being tortured, so people went that length, okay, to protect Baba, save Anand Marg, you know, live for ideology, die for ideology. So many people did self-immolation, not Indian people only. 3, 4 Indian, sannyasis, and the rest of them all overseas. Germans, Americans, Filipino, they did self-immolation for Anand Marg. So I think this is open forum, and we should be speaking out our mind. Somewhere we should be able to speak out our mind, and this was the purpose of this forum that I once imagined, and I'm very thankful and honored that all people, all of you are even struggling, but you are continuing with this. But yes, agriculture is the key to civilization. The only difference between animal and humans is that humans are cultured and animals are brute. And the culture, about culture, it is known wisdom. Agriculture has culture. Industry has no culture. And yet we want to ignore agriculture. We will have to prevail in debates of this kind of topic in public, not within the, a small, four walls of our own participants. We will have to start debating in public the same idea that we are talking now. Once we go out, wherever we are in the buses, we are in the trains, we are wherever we are traveling, or wherever we are, encountering our friend circle, or wherever, we should pick up the thread and we should start talking things, and winning their, attention that, oh, that it makes sense. And then Margis have some senseful, ideas which requires attention. That's what we are saying. I mean, we can create a glamour, but what about our new generation? And the only difference again between humans and non-humans is that human beings care for their next generation. Animals and others don't have a sense about their next generation and their future. You see, and if Anand Marga, if humanity of India starts not caring for their next generation, I think it is degrading experience. It will be very bad for the whole population, human population on Earth. On the other side, we are watching that now Americans are becoming sensible about their next generation. European people are so sensible about their next generation. And our Indian people are becoming so rude and crude what they're leaving behind for their next generation. So India has become a battleground of ideologies, and in this battleground, mad clash is going on. And Anand Marga should be able to bring clarity. And our theme is very timely, and a message should be going. The simply thing is that we will not feel shy of going public with our ideas and our thoughts on the current issues. We remain silent because perhaps we think that we are not well informed, and that's why we should not be participating in any debate. So then we need to do homework, and Baba is saying that the intellectuals have a responsibility, to find a solution and bring it to the public. because that is the work of intellectual society, and this is the forum. All the intellectuals, Renaissance Universal and UPIF, these are the two fora for intellectuals, of this new ideology. So this is where I will close my case, and I thankfully, accept and recommend the ideas of whatever three of you have been placing here, and please, if you have any question or any pointed thing for me, I can still, try to reflect. Thank you very much for inviting me. Namaskar.
Thank you, Gauraji. Thank you very much, Dada. Namaskar.
Namaskar.
And, see, it is true that we should go in public. That is absolutely 100% acceptable, and we should talk very authentically on the current issues and very strongly. But I don't know, people need not shy off. We have to go in the public. That is very important point to raise, Dada. And as far as how much we have opportunity, you can see the fellow is doing politics in the name of 30 lakhs job. That is a peanut. You rightly said 65% of the population is young. We need to think just 30 lakhs is not going to do, or 2 crore per year is also not going to do. What
Yeah.
is going, yes, what 65% population के लिए तुम क्या सोच रहे हो? That we should challenge them. Where is the planning for those people? So they are just alluring statements, and it is their capacity, that is what they can do. Beyond that, they don't have any ideal to do it. So I think we should guide them also, because if we cannot do, at least if they can hear us, because better.
Rajendra ji, sorry,
Yeah.
my problem is now that whatever we will tell here, I don't know how. It will become their slogan tomorrow. And then public perception becomes that Anand Margis are blindly supporting the ruling elites now. I don't know. I have all those things from Baba's time. I have, which very clearly shows me the pathways, which unfortunately, as I said, even Rahul Gandhi is now picking up our words and sentences and have started using in his. Now, if we start talking about our policies, how India can transform itself, and how the roadmap of India, again, it will be simply used as a rhetorics and popularity, and it will become the manifesto of some political parties, and we will be outstanders, bystanders. We will be just.
But if we are not doing anything, and I'll quote a statement of Dr. Batra, whom we interviewed recently in January, mid-January. He told that once my idea was taken away by someone, and while I met Baba, I was discussing that. And I told that this is being copied. I don't know how much fact, but we should believe. He told that Baba told, that's what I want. People should copy you. So I don't know if this is the thing. So media koi bhi ho, I think, I don't know how to take it.
Rajendra ji, people should copy, but Baba has also told about, sentimental strategy, people use these things as a sentimental strategy, pseudo sentiments they give to just gain political, mileage.
Yeah. Their inclination, intention is not that for which this philosophy was made. I agree. But at the same time, I mean, see partially the positive side of it. At least that awareness, हम यदि बोलेंगे, अगेन बाबा का स्टेटमेंट है कि मुकामा में खड़े होकर उस जमाने की बात है कि यहाँ पे पुल होना चाहिए, तो nobody is listen to me. But if the same statement, if Prime Minister says that यहाँ पर पुल बनना चाहिए, everybody will hear. So at least मेरे को तो ऐसा लगता है कि somebody should sincerely get associated, and if then unless you are associated, you cannot judge that really what is their intention. And if you found that people are good enough, I think we should suggest them, if there is a cooperative, we should suggest them how to run cooperative. If there is an employment issue, we should suggest them openly how you should go for employment, solving the employment issue. I think that day has come, because see, this is the situation in my platform. People are not coming. I mean, I should not criticize. Then who will do? Somebody has to do. And they are in position to do. That is what we discussed. Unless there is a political will, things will not move. And if there is a political will, I think we should support them, whosoever is there.
See,
That's coming to my mind.
Rajendra,
Yeah, Dada.
I just wanted to make one more input I wanted to give.
Sure. And after your input, we should close. Time is up. Yes, Dada.
Okay. The input is that, see, when we are talking about agrico and as well as agro industries, should be part of agriculture sector, and they should be the stakeholders, that is farmers, should be the have the command or control over this thing. So this is, in other words, we have to reserve these agro industries as well as the agrico industries, reserve them for cooperatives.
Absolutely. That is what Haranandada told. There is a legislation changes are required.
That means it requires a political will and a political ability to command our that idea. And levers of power, what we recall, the levers of power have to be with the proutists so that they can implement that. That is reserving these sectors into the as under cooperatives. And the cooperatives, who are the cooperative members? They'll be the farming community. That is exactly the idea behind the concept of agriculture sector as far as Prout is concerned. Implementation, yes, is a challenge. It is not a reform. Prout is not talking about reforms. It is talking about a revolution.
Revolution.
And a revolution makes fundamental changes. We cannot have gradualism. See, we cannot say, okay, let us go step by step. We cannot say, ideology, we have to be very clear about our ideology. Where is the point in saying that we have to compromise on this? We have to tell them in a palatable way, or we have to show that it matches their comfort. No. I think as far as ideology is concerned, we have to be very clear about what our ideology says. Okay, then of course, I'm very happy that the focus is now shifting to the samajas. I've been always saying that the samaj leadership should be well trained. There should be well trained samaj leadership, and in each, as I see, and also there has been a thing about this Telangana and Andhra and Tamil Nadu and all these places. Yes, unfortunately, the literature of Anmar, or let us say the Prout literature, see, we wanted them to be published in Telugu. And of course, there are certain attempts have been made here and there, but no systematic attempt has been made. See, it has to be taken up at an organizational level.
Right.
Because ultimately it has to be endorsed. Yes, this is the line. Okay, I think Rajendra Dada, you will take up
Dada, I agree. At the end, I will say what Bimalan Dada told, that we,
okay.
in the
Namaste.
closed door, we are talking so many things. I think we should go in public. Whether it's you're right. I think Surendra Dada, you suggested we should go to the hostels, college hostels,
Yes.
and
Yes.
those people. And because unless there is a mass movement, you cannot be successful. So you have to go college, universities, and especially hostels. And we have to address people. Because see, if we are
Yes,
not
that's
serious, then how can you expect that others will be serious regarding
Dada, that is where we came from. अब जो भी यहाँ दिख रहे हैं आप लोगों को,
this? सब
आप
hostel
जो
से
दिख
आए
रहे हैं, ये
Yeah,
ग्रुप
I
में जो
agree.
लोग दिख रहे हैं, ये लोग पूरे उधर से आए हैं, वही हॉस्टल से आए हैं.
Right.
From hostels only they came to Andhra.
Yeah, we have to find some strategy. और उसके लिए भी discuss. Yeah, Dada. Yes, Dada. Bimlan.
Now, something has happened. Some dadas and didis, acharyas, sannyasi acharyas, they are now going to colleges and high schools, and even they are going to middle school, junior high schools, and you know, talking before them materials of moralism, and they are talking
Yeah,
about a good health and good character.
I
They
see.
have started. Thanks God, thanks Baba, that this has started sinking in the mind of our field workers, and because it's bringing them social recognition. I will not say recognition, but this is creating a good social space for them wherever they are, So they feel more motivated to multiply that experience, and they're now, and their, many other, friend circle other than these, they're also learning from them those skills. It's now slowly catching up, and it gives me some kind of satisfaction. But then again, when it comes to the hard issue of employment, unemployment, and yes, there the seniors will have to do, like yourself, and this people of this forum, they should be going to, to the youths, to the hostels. I mean, who are you looking for? Where are you? What for are you waiting? And wasting your time in waiting. I mean, government can give you employment only maximum 10%. Even the Prout system, the white collar job is only for the 10% population. You see, and the rest of 90% people, they are in the production sector. You see. So we will have to talk about these real things. In the US, in the Western countries, everybody is trained into earning their own money. Once they become age 18, they will have to earn their own pocket money and their own, living costs by working. But in our country, a kind of lethargy, a kind of a sentiment, this kind of idea, think wrong cultural notion has been, very deep in the mind. And our youth should, when they are westernizing themselves, this aspect of westernization, they should also learn. I have noticed people are doing agitation on the road, against unemployment, but you see their shoes, what shoes they are wearing. You see their health. You see the clothes, the dress they're dressing up. Is this the dress of unemployed people? Is this the the way of, cost of living of unemployed people? But the government does not want to regulate all these things, that everybody must be, well nicely documented, that who is earning what and so from where, and whether one is really unemployed or they are just talking about, nonsense in the street, and give them some meaningful, engagement. I mean, there are so many things. Again, political will has to be there, and Dada Haranji was very clear on this topic. So, okay, yeah, this is my last comment, please.
Thank you, Dada. Thank you very much. I think we should close also the session. Time is up. Thank you very much for joining, though the attendance was less, but I think we discussed the very crux of the situation. So thank you very much, Reddy Dada, Haranan Dada. Fortunately, our Dada
Thank you.
Bimlanand Dada attended today. Dada, please keep coming to us. We get something new from you. And we have to go in public. Like today's this statement of yours is very important for us. So thank you very much. Let us close the session after doing a minute of meditation. Thank you very much. Please join.
Namaskar. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Namaskar.